It may seem strange to see flags flying and porch lights turned on in the middle of the day in a residential neighborhood, but the folks here in the 5800 block of Royal Crest Lane in the north part of Dallas have decided to honor the Apollo 11 astronauts now on their way to the moon. And they intend to keep on honoring them for a week until splashdown, which is scheduled for next Thursday, July the 24th. Naturally, in Dallas, the folks at the 5800 block of Royal Crest Lane aren't the only ones that have decided to honor Apollo 11. The Day of Honor for the Apollo 11 astronauts is not, of course, limited to Dallas. President Nixon has declared Monday to be a national holiday. Lieutenant Governor Ben Barnes, in the absence of Governor Preston Smith, has urged State Department heads to close their offices on Monday for a state holiday. And one mom told her kids, "There'll be a man on the moon before I'll let you watch TV in the morning." On splashdown, all the kids expect to be in front of the TV set. This is Phil Reynolds, Channel 8 News, North Dallas.
Well, I'm in favor of it, Carl. I feel the law permits it. I feel it's a method by which the defendants, in effect the loser in the lawsuit, can assist as provided by law in the helping defray the costs of running the courts. That's what court costs are for, and I would be in favor of it. I would want to say that I would not want these court costs to in any way limit or eliminate the payment of probation fees to the probation department, because this payment, also provided for by law, has made the probation department self-sustaining, and I would not want to see that status changed, but otherwise I'm definitely in favor of it.
Do you think it's discriminatory against the man who's sent to the penitentiary not to assess him court costs also?
No, I wouldn't think that it was discriminatory against him. I think the court costs should be assessed as the law provides in all cases, and I think the court could, in its discretion, make exceptions and waive the assessment of court costs where the interests of justice call for it. But I don't think that it's discriminatory against anyone. It's provided for by law, and I think it's a very reasonable provision.
Down in your clinics for Chrysler and Plymouth, what's your advice to people with streetcars who want to improve their performance?
Usually what we try to do is to tell them things that they can do themselves, like to rework the distributor and install headers upon their car, what type of headers, and things that they can do that really doesn't cost them a whole lot initially. And then we get into, if they want to build a race car, how to do that also.
How much does it cost to build a race car like this one? You're running in B super stock.
By the time you buy the car until you completely finish it, you probably have between $7,000 and $8,000 in the car.
Now, what's the difference between your car and a street Barracuda?
This car has a 426 hemispherical head engine with aluminum heads. It's got fiberglass front fenders and hood. And it's real lightweight glass. And it's not suitable for a street car, but it makes an ideal race car.
You hold some records. What's your fastest elapsed time and top speed?
The fastest time we've had is a 1042, and we went over 135 mile an hour with the thing.
It's really helped the students, all of the students as leaders of the school, to become more involved, to try to help each of the students that may not participate in the school activities to become more involved and to realize that that we need to communicate more with parents and teachers and each other. And I think the whole thing is, I mean, the way that it's been set up has helped each participant in this seminar to realize that we're all people and that we all have problems, and it's helped us to learn how to solve our problems.
Last night, well, we got together with the parents and we discussed problems with the parents of, that live here in Dallas, discussions and different things that we wouldn't discuss with our parents, and this was very helpful to us to go back and try to sit down and get with our parents and get together and living and discussing things, more frankly.
What prompted you to think of bringing in these people?
I'm a jazz fan. I love jazz, and I just wanted them to come to Texas. And I had gone to college with George Wein, the Newport producer, back in his college days when he was a medical student and a piano player.
What are the groups appearing Friday night in Dallas?
A great festival, really diverse, providing 4 hours of music. Miles Davis and his quintet. The South African trumpeter, Hugh Masekela and his quintet, Nina Simone with her own group, the songs of B.B. King, real blues singer, Young Holt Unlimited, which is the graduate group of Ramsey Lewis
It's
Trio.
kind of a spin-off from Ramsey Lewis.
Yes, it is. They have a swinging pianist named Cheney taking Ramsey's place in that group. And then, of course, to climax the evening, the 9-member group Blood, Sweat, and Tears. A festival should encompass all kinds of music, and I think we have, as evidenced by the list that I just gave you. And it should be presented in such a way that the artists have long enough to do their thing, to build their set, to warm up the audience, establish their motif, and then reach the logical climax that any performance should reach. So I think you'll hear 6 great artists doing 40 to 45-minute sets, a real chance to express themselves.
"46 high school youngsters are giving very serious study to some very serious problems, some within their high schools, some within society in general. This is the second of 3 weekly seminars in a brand new program designed to help develop student leadership in all 21 high schools in the Dallas system. The participants are class and student council officers. It's a pilot project conducted by SMU and funded by part of the money given to the Dallas schools recently by philanthropist Ross Perot. To give you an idea of what they're talking about, this session concerned law and order and included experts from state and local agencies. The next topic for discussion was moral values in a changing world. The first seminar last week ended with very definite plans being formulated for each of the high schools. For example, they're going to find ways to increase student participation in the worthwhile activities at the school. In a buzz session with parents yesterday, these young people decided to look into the possibility of having students belong to PTA groups. Last night, most of the kids joined in an impromptu sing fest here on the front porch, strictly on their own. When a sudden hush developed, a worried sponsor came to investigate, only to find the group in prayer. There were several spontaneous prayers, then a quiet adjournment for the night. Who says the new generation has gone to the dogs? This is Roger McDonald, Channel 8 News.